They say hunting is in your blood. But what if you're just winging it? Justin's the middle-aged rookie with a new passion for hunting and an even newer bird dog. Erik, he's the guy who actually knows what he's doing. Most of the time. If you're into hunting, bird dogs, or just watching a guy learn the hard way, you're in the right place. Welcome to Upland Underdog.
Erik, we're both here, and we're both alive, and that's what matters.
Yeah, we survived the first opening day of dove season together.
Survived the first opening day of dove season, and it was a blast. No pun intended. Yeah, we had a great time. So I officially harvested my first animal over the weekend.
I know. I got to see that. It was pretty fun.
It was a blast. So we'll talk about that in a second. But first, I wanted to talk a little bit about the weekend of the dove hunt, because opening day of dove hunting is September the 1st.
Yep.
That happened to be on a Monday, Labor Day today. And our families like to go camping together. Mm-hmm. So we take trips every so often. Not as many this year.
Now, this year was super busy, I guess, with sports. And
always.
We had some other trips. You had trips.
Yeah.
It was busy summer.
So we did get out. And when we got out, the fun thing was our wives planned a chunk of it. We were responsible for all the packing and the driving.
Yeah, and the driving. Yeah.
And the driving. And my wife was on a business trip, so she actually had to meet us out at the campsite, which is about an hour and a half away. Mm-hmm. And so I got two of my kids. She was picking up the one on the way home from the airport, into the vehicle, loaded it all up, and made my merry way down the road. And about 45 minutes later, I looked out the window because I heard something, and it was my tire just shredding in the wind.
Yeah, that's always a great feeling when you're pulling a camper.
No, I'd never had that happen before. It was not fun. I do not recommend it.
No.
We had the back of my Yukon completely loaded up. The jack would not allow me to open up the hatch all the way. Yeah. I knew for a fact that I had my lug wrench and I had my jack in there because I had those two things when I changed two tires on it about a month ago.
Yeah.
So I said 20 minutes max. I did this not too long ago. It won't be that long. I had a brand new spare. Go to get the jack out, put it where it needed to be, go to get the lug wrench, and could not find it. And I realized that it is in my garage. So that is not helpful.
That's great when your heart just sinks in your throat. Like,
So I pulled over the first spot that I could. I was sitting on the side of not a major highway. The speed limit there was 55, one of those kind of highways. Some people did stop. They were nice.
It's always awesome that there's actually people that are still nice enough to stop.
There's an old timer that stopped. What you need, bud? So, well, I got everything but the wrench. And he goes, I got a big old jack that'll probably lift your car and that trailer up for you, but I don't got one of those wrenches. And I said, oh, well, thank you for stopping. And I pulled over in front of like a sanitation, a septic tank place. Mm-hmm. So they got big trucks and stuff coming through, and I had enough room for them to get in and out. So I was just kind of biding my time until maybe somebody happened to come by. It was a Thursday evening.
Yeah, about 7 o'clock.
Yeah, so it was kind of late for business hours. But another person stopped by, and they said they lived down the road, and they were going to go get a wrench. And right when I was talking to them, an older couple again, a younger guy pulls in that works there. And I say younger because I'm older now, but he was probably late 20s, early 30s. So he pulls in with his big truck. He said, what's the problem? And I told him. He said, I got lots of tools. I'll be right back. So he came out. And again, egg on my face. I felt embarrassment to everyone that stopped because I bet they're like, this idiot what's he doing going out with his kids and a camper and he doesn't have the right tools? And so I had to tell everybody, I have it. I forgot it. Yeah.
My wife was out of town. I had to do all the packing and I slipped on one thing.
Basically, yeah. I forgot a sheet also. But other than the sheet.
And venison.
And I was going to bring venison for the chili. Oh. But did we have chili?
We did not. We skipped chili.
And why did we skip chili?
Well, we didn't bring all the ingredients to make the chili.
So it was a tough trip. We forgot some things. Yeah. But yeah, the most important being that wrench that I needed. And I said, well, I have a fairly new vehicle. There's got to be a lug wrench in there. Couldn't find it to save my life. I was ripping off panels. I was reaching in there. I found the jack for it. Still, absolutely no way to find the lug wrench that I needed.
While it's a hatch that only opens up a third
I was
of the
squeezing
way.
my big butt between the hatch in there, and I was trying to figure that out, and it did not work well. And what I come to realize is after I got all the stuff unpacked, including the dog crate with the dog in it from the back, it was underneath the floor panel that lifts up. But so far back, I never would have gotten there anyway. Yeah. And the wrong size. So it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, it's only for the truck. It wouldn't work on a trailer.
Exactly. So what ended up happening is that younger guy came down and he starts to jack it up, and we get the tire off, and then we go to put the tire on. It's not jacked up high enough. So we go to jack it up. It's at full capacity. Cannot go up any higher. I have all the wood that I can stack underneath it. It's literally just physically not going to go up any higher. So he ended up using the stabilizer jack in the back, not designed for that whatsoever.
Good thinking in a pinch.
Good thinking in a pinch. So he cranks that bad dog up, gets basically the whole side of my trailer off the ground. And then he's like, grab the tire and it's good to go. So I went and grabbed it. You know, I am afraid of the precarious position that this trailer is on. I don't want this to smash me or my legs or anything. So I'm standing kind of sideways, kind of finagle it on there. Tires are not the lightest thing in the world.
Yeah, and you're in an awkward position, and then your back's to the highway.
Awkward position. So I'm trying to put the tire on there, and this guy's just looking at me like, you want me to do it? I said, no, I got this. I don't want to look like a yuppie with a newer vehicle and a camper and not being able to change my own tire. Again, I changed 2 a month ago on the same damn camper. So that's why. So I just sat there looking and feeling like an idiot. And he's like, well, why don't I just do it? And I was like, if you want to do it, go for it. I'm not asking you to do it. So he gets down under there, and he has zero problems with putting both of his legs under there. He's balancing the tire on his legs while he's putting it on there, and that's good for him.
That's how I always do it. My wife laughs at me laughs and concerned because I'm sitting under a 100-pound tire under an 8,000-pound truck, and
yeah,
she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "It's the easiest way to do it. It's just not the safest."
It's not the safest, and I was concerned for my pretty little legs. So he ends up doing the whole thing, and again, I'm standing there like I felt like a 9-year-old watching his dad like holding a flashlight while this guy's
Fortunately, you'll never see him again. Like you're never gonna have to hear from him.
But I guarantee he went home and said, "You know what I had to do today for some yuppie butthole like
stuck on the side of the road."
Yep, that was me. But he was very nice. He did it, and I was like, "Hey, can I Venmo you something?" He goes, "I don't do Venmo." Okay, well, yeah, Cash App, you got anything? I'll send you some money right now. I just don't carry a lot of cash on me. Nope, I don't do any of that stuff. So I reached in my wallet and I had $17. So I said, well, take this, go get yourself some food, go do something. And he said he took that. So it was very nice of him because I would have felt bad if he just did all of the work for absolutely nothing. But once we got back on the road, oh, by the way, while this is happening, Eric's driving to my rescue. We didn't mention that part of it.
No, but you said you needed help, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, so I called Erik and I said, I don't have my tools because I'm 45 minutes from the campsite, 45 minutes from home. I got the dog with me, I got kids with me, and Erik was already at the campsite. So he ended up driving in case I needed help. By the time he got there, my tire had been back on and I've been ready to go for about 5 minutes.
Yep, waiting for me to turn around and head back.
Exactly. I said, just follow me in case something else goofy happens. And he did that. And then we had a great camping time. But the reason I brought that up, not just to talk about my bad luck and bad abilities, was to say that we scheduled that trip on a Thursday evening, yanked the kids out of school on a Friday. What bad parents are we?
No, that's...
Memories
are more important than...
Absolutely. At this age, yes. If they were in high school, I'd think twice.
Big difference.
But the fun part was we took the camping trip Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so we could get back in time to go dove hunting on opening day.
Yeah, that's which the wives agreed to. They were fine as long as the kids got to go out of school and they got to go camping and sit in the river for 2 days. So
yep,
it was a win for everybody.
It was a great time. Yeah, Hazel had fun with your dog playing in the river while we were there. So the camping trip was great. But the exciting part was the dove hunting when we got back. So
absolutely.
Why don't you talk about where we went and how we went there? Because I, as a newbie, no idea where to go. I don't know folks with land, and I don't know how to do the public land either because I've personally just never done it. I've only gone hunting once for deer with you on private land. So I was at a loss of what to do, but you said, I got it, Justin. Here's what we're going to do. And that was?
Also, I've got a good friend of mine. His family owns quite a few acres in northern Missouri, about an hour north of us. So just reached out to him to make sure that it was good to bring you. And then we also brought my son. And he's like, yeah, just meet me at the patch. And that's all the information he gave me. Now, fortunately, I've hunted this place many times, so I knew exactly where he meant. And so we show up. It's 6 a.m. We're the first ones there. It was awesome. I mean, and then they start trickling in one at a time. And the family's been hunting this same patch for over 50 years. It's a really good spot now that you've been up there and seen how many birds come through, but they have it set up very well. It's either a cornfield on 2 sides or a bean field. Depends on the year. There's mowed down patches of sunflower. It's got woods on 2 sides of it and a pond in the middle. So everything we need. They have cover, water, food. And it's awesome. It was a great time to be out there in the morning, and it wasn't hot.
It wasn't.
It was really nice. We've had years we've been up there, and it's 100 degrees at 6 a.m., and it's been miserable.
Yeah, I started with a jacket on, and I took that off within 20 minutes of the sun coming up.
Yeah, it became really nice really fast.
It did. And what was interesting is you talked about these folks hunting this land for a long, long time. They said, at one point, one of them said, I don't think we've had 4 generations out here before. We've got 3 today, but I don't think we've had 4. And one of them says, well, one of my daughters is going to have I don't think she's going to have a kid next year, but pretty soon we're going to get 4 generations out here.
Yeah,
and they were just really excited about that.
It's really cool. Their big thing is to be able to pass the experience on to the younger generations, because if it's not passed and it's not taught, it dies. Like the knowledge is dead, the fun's dead. It just gets moved on to something else.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there anymore.
So, yeah, we drove out about an hour and a half or so.
No,
It's about an hour.
It was a little under an hour. I can make the trip a little bit quicker, but there's no rush. But yeah, it was a little bit under an hour. So.
About an hour away. We showed up at 6 a.m. or just before 6 a.m., a few minutes before 6 a.m. And like we talked about one of the past episodes with hunting and just watching the world come alive, watching that sunrise there was blue skies, there was purple skies, there was orange skies, pink skies, red skies. It was just a beautiful scene to watch.
Yeah, it was fantastic coming over the top of the fields. It was unbelievable. And then you start seeing birds trickle, 1 or 2 at a time. And then it's like a tidal wave, one after another. So yeah, I was anxious for you and my son, because he also went, his first experience. But I was worried, what if they're not there this year? It's just, it happens. And what if they're not coming in waves where you get tons of chances to shoot? So I was anxious leading up to it, but once we got there and I saw how many were flying, I'm like, they're going to have a blast. This is going to be a good time.
It was a great time. I really enjoyed everything about it. And some of the things that were highlights of the morning before the hunt was your son asked 48 questions on the drive down.
Yeah, he hit his limit for questions before we got up there.
We showed up. When we showed up, there was a gentleman named Jordan that was the second truck to show up there. And he comes over, talks to us for a couple minutes, and then he looked at your son for a second. He goes, man, it's too early in the morning to listen to all this.
Yeah, he was excited. He was up before I was Monday morning, ready to go, dressed, just super excited. I can't get him to do that for school, but for hunting, he's excited to be up that early.
Yeah, and he rode back with me from the camping trip. Our kids swapped cars just for fun to sit with friends.
Yeah, thank you for that. My wife and I got to drive all the way home in peace and quiet. It was just her and the dog, so it was awesome.
Well, I got TVs in the back of the vehicle, so I got to drive home in peace and quiet too.
Well, there's that.
Until your son said, I feel a little not great because watching TVs and screens in the car. So he did that, and I said, as long as you don't puke, you're good. And then he just changed the subject. You excited about tomorrow, Mr. Justin? I said, yes, I am. He said, I'm so excited. So it was just really cool to see his excitement about it.
Yeah, he was extremely excited. It was awesome to get to experience that with both of you guys at the same time. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was pretty unique. So I was glad to be a part of it. It was cool.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you invited me to be a part of it. So it was very cool. You talked a little bit about the field itself, and you talked about beans, you talked about corn, you talked about sunflowers. Why, and this is a big thing that I learned in the last 3 to 4 months, why are sunflowers so important, and why are dove fields typically sunflower fields?
It's a good source of food for them, and an easy source. I mean, typically they drop all their seeds, so they're all in the ground. They're usually taller, so they actually have some cover if they're still eating, if they're down into the sunflower. It's just everything. Every time I've ever done a dove hunted any conservation places, it's always sunflower patches.
Yep.
So it's just an easy source of food for them.
Yeah. So that's the other thing that I learned is sunflowers and corn are basically the way that you get dove.
Well, especially after the corn's been cut.
Dove? Is it dove? Doves? I think it's doves, but I like saying dove.
I think it could be either, but dove sound fine for plural.
Yeah, sure. I'm down with it. Again, we're not a learning podcast.
No.
We're a couple of guys drinking beer talking about stuff. So the next thing that we do, we get there, and again, I've never hunted dove before. I've never opened up a shotgun to put a shell in and get ready to aim at something that's living. Never done it in my life. So I'm obeying the laws and the rules that I see around me. I'm taking everything in to make sure that I'm doing things the right way. And from the way that it's set up, let's just say it's a rectangle for all intents and purposes. It's more like an oval or an oblong shape in general, but it's like a rectangular field. And when you get in on one of the corners of the rectangle,
Yep.
one of the short ends of the rectangle. You come into that corner, and if you want, you can walk to your right, which is one of the long ends of the rectangle, all the way down to a different corner. And that's kind of what happened is we got there first or second, however you want to look at it. When we approached the field, we were there with a couple people that had already shown up. And we turn the corner and we stay along the tree line because there's a tree line behind us. Stay along that tree line. And Jordan, who I talked about, he goes 50 feet down and he just sits down and sets up, and that's where he goes.
Lights a cigarette.
Lights his fourth cigarette since we've been there.
Yeah.
And then we walk about 50 to 75 feet down from him, and we set up our chairs. And then the other folks that show up kind of go on the short end of the rectangle straight out. Some of them go to the very back end of the rectangle to set up over there.
The old guys sit right next to the truck, which is fair.
They don't walk.
They don't need to walk through the field. So.
They let the doves come to them.
Yep.
And they got some, so it works.
Yeah, they don't miss often either. So that's helpful.
So we get there and we're set up now, and it's me, you, and your son all sitting there, and we are just waiting at this point. And how long do you think we waited until we saw the first dove? Not took the first shots, but just saw one.
It wasn't very long at all. I mean, I would say the sun was getting pretty bright by 6:15, and I would say we probably saw them. And it's really hard to see them when it's a dark sky because they come out of nowhere. But yeah, it was really early, the first one we saw come through.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd say like 6:20, definitely before 6:30.
Yeah.
But I don't think that we started shooting until around 6:30.
Yeah, it was like right at 6:30, and they started coming in pretty quick, one after another. So
yeah,
there's a lot of excitement really early in the morning, really fast.
After another, eventually. So we are sitting there. It's me, you, your son, and I believe you were in the middle of us.
Yeah, I did. Well, my son didn't want anybody to his left because he didn't want any spent casings hitting him or spent holes hitting him. So he was very specific about his
experience.
Location.
Taught him that.
Yeah, he learned that really quick at the range. No, it was just the three of us. I was sitting in the middle so I could just kind of look around and see both of you at the same time and be able to help him, but still be able to watch to see what kind of fun you were having too.
Yeah, he was shooting a 410 that day.
Yes.
And the 410 that he has, it's kind of a pain in the ass because of just some of the thumb strength you need for loading. Or is it the loading or is it the...
It was just trying to get, because it's newer, the springs are real tight. Everything is just a little bit harder. And he's still 11. I mean, he's not a big, strong monster of a kid yet. So yeah, till the springs loosen up, it's just snug to get loaded.
Yeah, so you're helping him with that. Plus, we found some discount shells at Academy, and they were discounted for a reason. We
find out they don't cycle very well through a semi-auto. So later on in the day, he was just shooting single shots, which was fine. He could do those, but they didn't eject. So then we'd have to try to hand eject them. Ended up being a long afternoon for him.
Yeah.
Or late morning, just to try to get him swapped out.
Yep. But he had a great time, and I felt like one of your kids a little bit because you were sitting down and you didn't raise your shotgun until after 30, 40 birds flew by.
Yeah, I wanted you guys to have fun and experience it without just shooting. Adding another gun, shooting at the same time gets kind of weird when we're that close too. So I rather wanted you two to shoot first and see how you liked it, see how you were hitting them, and have your excitement before I decided to shoot it all.
Yeah, and I felt overzealous in some ways because if your son would shoot and miss, and I would make sure he shot first, I was shooting right after. Well, there's one there. I'm trying too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I was getting excited too, but I was like, I feel kind of bad stealing birds from a kid if I get it and he doesn't. So,
well, he did get one.
He did.
He got the first one of the day.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit in terms of when he got it and what happened.
It was like not even 6:40, and it just happened to be flying right at us, and he didn't see it till late, which actually worked out better because he didn't think, and it was just reaction, and just covered the bird up with the sight, and that was it. I mean, it was really cool. He was really excited. Now he wasn't big on having to touch it. That's
There's a picture of him.
Yeah, he did hold him by the wing, but we've got a lot to work on post harvesting birds. There's a lot still to do there yet.
Yeah, I understand that. The fun thing for me was he shot and then I got one. And he ran out there and grabbed it.
But he made sure everybody in the field knew that he shot it. So he was.
And it was the first one of the day. First one out of the 12 people that were there around that time or 10 people that were around that time. So absolutely first kill of the day. And I think that it was probably only his third or fourth shot.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. It was probably his third shot. Yeah, he had 3 in to start with. And he right away threw 3 shots. I was amazed. I was happy for him. Excited?
I was very excited for him too. And even though I didn't get one for a while after that, I had plenty more than 3 shots.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see. And I get why the tradition of hunting and the passing it down can be such a cool thing to see.
Yeah, it's rewarding, and then at the end of the day, you're harvesting something that you can provide for your family or yourself if it's just you. It's that part is really cool. I really like that part of it. And then understanding why we're taking an animal. It's not killing it. We're harvesting it because we plan on eating it. It's not just shooting to kill.
And we did, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit too, in terms of what we did with what we did harvest. So yeah, it was a couple more minutes go by. I took probably 3-4 more shots. I missed way more than I thought I would. And I think that that's a generally true statement about dove hunting because of the way that they fly. But for an ego, did not do well for my ego.
No, that's not a great place to have an ego. I will say you actually missed less than I thought you were going to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
I can remember the first time I went, I was super anxious, and I shot probably 2 or 3 times more than you did. So it was good. You were actually controlled. That was you might not have thought you were, but you weren't just shooting at everything that was flying. You were at least waiting until you had an opportunity.
I got mad sometimes, and I shot at ones that were way too far away.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the depth perception is really hard to tell how far they are.
It was. That's something. The other thing is knowing what was a dove and what wasn't. I grew up in closer to the city, as we've talked about before too. I did not grow up going, oh, there's a dove. Oh, there's a that bird. Oh, there's a that bird. I didn't have family. I do have family that lives out in the country, but they live so far in the country, it's not drivable to go see them often. So we would go there every now and then, but I haven't been to their property since I was young.
And if it wasn't something you were interested in, you're not looking at animals flying or...
I'm kicking pigeons. Or
Yeah.
I'm not looking for doves.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when we got out there, you said, you know the difference between a barn swallow and a pigeon? I said, oh, nope. So, well, you have to learn because I don't want you to get the wrong bird. After 3 or 4 instances of where they were flying nearish each other or subsequently after each other, I got it.
Yeah, because it looks, I mean, obviously they're not the same. And if you look at them close enough, they don't look alike. But if you're looking quickly and you're excited, it's easy to say, oh, that's a dove, even though it's not. The more you pay attention, you're like, okay, I can see the difference, but when they're flying fast, they're flying high, and you're anxious, it's easy to shoot the wrong thing.
Well, I didn't that day, and that was very good. So this is, I say that day, it happened literally earlier this week still. So
yeah, we're still in the same week, which is weird.
Still in the same week, but it was a blast, as we've said. I got to quit saying that because it sounds punny. I'm not trying to be punny. I mean,
no,
it was very, very fun.
It was extremely fun. I love being out there. It's the same as before. If I didn't even shoot, I wouldn't have cared.
Mm-hmm.
It's sitting out there when the world comes alive. That is my favorite part of any kind of hunting. I love that part. And conversely, in the evenings, if I hunt all the way to the dark, when everything goes to sleep, it's really fun for me that way.
Like a good pair of boots or a seasoned vest, the best things are made to fit. That's how Midwest Stair Company approaches every build, tailored to your space and your style. Based out of the St. Louis area, their custom stairs are made to last and made to feel like they've always belonged. See what they're working on at MidwestStairCompany.com. Yeah, I have a great time when we have done that, the 2 times I've done that. But the day goes on, I probably miss, and I'm not exaggerating for any good reason, I probably missed at least 10 shots before I finally get my first dove. And it was a good hit on the dove. And again, we're backed up to a tree line. So the tree line's behind us, so if a dove's flying at you and you shoot it, it's going to go towards the tree line if it gets close enough. Or depending on how high it is, it's just going to keep on going. The one that I shot, the first one, fell about 2 feet before the tree line and then just rolled its way right at the tree line. So I said, ooh, I got one. I walked over to go pick it up, and it's just looking at me. One of these. Like, looked like it's sitting on a nest, just legs underneath it, just looking around. I'm like, Erik, mine's alive and looking at me. And Jordan goes, just twist his neck. I said, Erik. Jordan said twist his neck, but it's looking at me. He said, yeah, just wring its neck. I said, how you do that, Erik? Will you show me? Now, logically, I know how to do it. But I didn't want to be the psychopath who just whips this bird around like this. So,
which, actually, that's the exact technique. I mean, maybe not over your head, but to your side. It's just, it needs to put it out of its misery quickly. And you're not going to shoot it on the ground, like, because you're actually trying to eat it, and you're not just killing it. So that's the simplest, easiest way to do it.
So you did another good dad moment for me. You said, you put your foot on it, and you just pick it up by its head, and you do this. And you did that for me for my first one. And I said, thanks, Erik. I'm sorry. Because again, just like the tire situation, I'm feeling emasculated over here, even though I know what to do. I just never done it before.
No, it's a friend thing. It's not a father thing.
Yeah.
I don't see it that way. I didn't know that.
You were in dad mode.
Well, yeah, but I don't
But,
have a choice
yeah.
now. That's the same as you. Like, that's
'Cause
always dad mode.
If one of my buddies, I'd be like, come on, you clown, just go do it. But you were very patient and very nice to me. So thank you. I told you thank you for that.
You did.
Because the way that I shot that day, I ended up harvesting 10. 10 that I brought home. I shot 15. 15 is the daily limit. I shot 15 and I tried my damnedest to go find them in the woods and I could not find them.
Yeah, and then where we were also hunting, there's a pond, which you did get one out of the pond, which was, your timing was impeccable.
Yes. Why was my timing impeccable?
The game warden showed up, which they do every year. Like I said, they've been hunting this farm for 50 years. They know what time we're going to be there. They know for the most part who's going to be there. So they're just doing their due diligence and making sure everybody's bought their tags and their guns are correct. Meaning you can only have one in the chamber and 2 in the tube. You can't have more than 3 shots for bird hunting. So they just check it, which that's fine. I'm totally comfortable with that. I knew they would. They do every year. So
yeah, and when they came and checked my stuff, I had my hunting card on me, and so I showed him that. He scanned it. He said, "You're all good." He checked my gun. He left. 5 minutes go by. I get a phone call from the county that we're in, and I'm like, well, that's weird. I get so many spam calls.
That's a good spam call. Like, oh, they're really good now.
They're really good. They know exactly where I'm at. So I thought nothing of it, put my phone back in my pocket, and then a minute later I get a text message. "Hey, Justin, this is Jake, the game warden that just stopped by. Can you give me a call?"
Yeah, that's weird.
I said, "Erik." Another Erik moment.
Yeah, I'm like, that's strange. Never... The game warden does never call you. They don't text you. Like,
yeah, I thought that was very strange, and I didn't know better, but I could tell you that probably wasn't a normal thing. So you said, "I would call him back." So I called him back, and he called me because he wanted to get a hold of one of the older guys that was in our group because he had land out that way, and it was his land we were on. And so he said, "Hey, do you also," he wanted to talk to him. I could hear it in a phone call. Said, "Do you also own this property?" And the way that they described it is just always so. "Do you own the property south of the river? Go up and turn left, and then it's behind this old shed. Do you own that too?" He said, "Yeah, I do." And he said, "There's some Amish boys on there. I told them they could hunt, but if they're not Amish boys, I didn't give anybody any rights to go hunt there. So you can go talk to them."
Yeah, I like the landmarks, like the old tree. They think the field that we hunt, they call it the old red barn. Did you see a red barn?
No.
Yeah, so that would be a really difficult thing to try to locate. But if everybody up there is like, "Yeah, we're hunting the red barn field." Okay. I've been up there for 15 years. I've never seen a barn.
Bet you 50 years ago there was a big red barn.
I guarantee there was at one point. That's probably right where the trucks were sitting, but not anymore.
So I did well, I thought. My first time out, I, again, took more shots than I wanted. So we ended up I got 10 birds. You got 10 birds.
I think I got 10, yeah. Colton.
At the end, Colton got his one.
Yep.
And then to your point, what you said about it earlier, you said, I think he just got a little discouraged that it's a little harder than he thought it would be.
Yeah,
he had success early.
Yeah, he assumed it would. He thought he was going to shoot 15 times and kill 50. I mean, he really did. That was, which I can understand. He's 11. He's, on top of the world. But yeah, he got discouraged, and then also he's shooting with a 410, and they were flying very high, so he was hitting more than he realizes because we would see feathers. They just weren't coming down.
Oh, there was one bird where I shot it and saw feathers, and it kind of did a wobble. And then you shot it and saw feathers and did another wobble and just kept on flying.
And then flew away. I'm like, that's...
Because we were standing there. You said, "I think we both hit that." And then we're standing there and just see feathers just falling down. Like, yeah, we definitely hit it. So
we hit it. But yeah, they're pretty tough for as small as they are. You have to put a good shot on them.
And so we got 9 apiece. And then all the other folks that were there, like, "Hey, we're going to go head back to the house." They were gracious as hell to have us over. They had a big old lunch, brisket and pork tenderloin and sausage and all the sides you can imagine. Wonderful people that we were able to hunt with. And again, they don't listen to this by any stretch of the imagination. But if they did, thank you all again. It was a really awesome time. So they left at like 9:30. And they said, "You guys can hunt as long as you want. Feel free, but we're going to head back. Lunch is at 12:30. So we're like, "Hey, we only got 9. Let's get our 15 if we can." So we are hanging back, and we realized after about an hour why they left at 9:30.
Yeah, that's pretty standard, but I wanted us to stay there because you still wanted to be there. Some still wanting to hang out, and even though he just set up a target to the side and was shooting, which was fine, it gives him an opportunity to get more comfortable. And I knew we weren't going to see many because they come in the mornings, and then it's like they stop and then they come back in the afternoon. It kind of feels like deer hunting. They're moving early in the morning, everything goes quiet, and then it happens again and towards the end of the day. But it was great because then it was really quiet when it was just the three of us.
It was. It was very quiet. We could kind of walk wherever we wanted. We didn't have to worry about walking in front of anybody else's sight line. Everybody was very good. I don't think there was any shots below 20 feet.
No, everybody knows. I mean, we're not out there to hurt anybody. Everybody knows to keep shooting up, which definitely helped my wife when I was telling her this is how it works. And she's like, okay, good. Like, you're not in a crossfire with each other.
It was really cool, like the camaraderie of it, and watching some of the, I say older guys, hell, we're all older now, but some of the guys that were out there with their grandkids, they were walking around, and one of the little girls had a great time following her grandpa along, and just whenever there was her uncle.
Is her uncle, yeah.
Uncle, yep, sorry. Following her uncle along, and when she... whenever he got a bird, and he got a lot of birds.
He doesn't miss much. I think he got his limit, and I think he shot 15. Like, he doesn't.
He got all the high ones. He got all the low ones.
Well, it helps when you go to college on a shooting scholarship.
He did a very good job.
Yeah, he's very good at that.
So he was, I mean, it was the most adorable stuff. He's like, do the bird dance for me, do the bird dance. And so she's out there flapping her arms, and he's like, oh, one's coming, keep dancing. And so it was really fun to see that. Like you talked about, passing on the tradition.
Yep.
She would go help him find the birds when it was all said and done.
She wouldn't touch them. She was just a pointer.
Yep.
She's not retrieving those at all.
So the group that we were with was great. There was another kid there, a couple years older than your son, same grade as my oldest daughter.
Yep.
And actually, we found out they go to the same school.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So we drove an hour away to hang out with people we don't see hardly ever, and one of them lives 5 minutes from us and goes to school with my daughter.
Small world.
And your son now.
Yeah, it's really weird. But yeah, everybody with the exception of the three of us and Jordan, the rest of them were all family. So whether it was siblings and their kids and then their father, trying to think, some might have been cousins. There was a spouse as well, like all family. And then everybody at lunch, with the exception of us three and maybe Jordan, were all family.
Yeah.
I mean, so I know for me, I'm very fortunate that I get to go. And I was fortunate that you guys got to come along because it's mostly family. It's pretty cool to be a part of that and being able to be accepted in. That was, and we got the invite. We were offered to come back next year. They were totally comfortable with that. So it's really, I've been really fortunate for that.
And I think that a couple of folks, I talk to everybody. I'm a social person. And talking to them, I was like, this is my first time dove hunting. I just bought my first shotgun in February. They're like, get out of here. Yeah, like, everybody was very nice to me.
The look on their faces were hilarious. They're like, they thought you were lying. Like, a couple of them, I say kids because they were actually teenagers there that just wide-eyed could not believe you just made that statement.
When I was talking to the 7th grader that was there that goes to the same school as my daughter. I was talking to him. I said, hey, what team are you on? They do it by different teams at the middle school there. I said, oh, my daughter's there. I said, this is my first time dove hunting. It was fun. And everybody turned around like, what'd that old guy just say?
It was pretty funny moments, just things like that. And then listening, like you said, the camaraderie, maybe the stories, some of the fabricated stories.
Not for 11-year-old ears.
Yeah,
not all of them.
He's learning to not repeat what he hears. So
good.
But yeah, it's just the stories and listening to them talk about all their years of coming up in dove hunting and their successes and failures. And then if you're there for the evening, there's different stories. So they get a little rougher.
More colorful.
Oh yeah.
And we left. Your son was very disappointed. We left, but we didn't intend to make an entire day out of it. Our wives are gracious enough to let us go out the day after camping where they're still cleaning up the house from the long weekend, getting things out of the camper maybe, cleaning stuff up from the camper, doing laundry from the camper.
Yeah.
They were doing their part and didn't give us any grief about saying, go have fun. No. My wife knew I was looking forward to it for a long time. You hadn't been on a opening day dove hunt in, you said 7 years or so?
Well, I looked back. I saw some pictures. I did take Colton 3 years ago. He didn't shoot, but he got to go. So it's been 3, and then prior to that was like 4 more. It's just because we decided to start camping on Labor Day weekend, which makes sense. So I would miss quite a few of them because my wife won't pull a camper at all. Your wife is
her vehicle can.
Her vehicle can, but she will absolutely not do it, and she's totally against it.
Yeah, my wife will do it, but not
anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
My vehicle has the not Super Cruise. It's whatever the Cruise. The GM version.
The GM version.
Oh, Super Cruise. Yeah, it's not Blue Cruise. Blue Cruise is Chevy. GM is. But yeah, mine will actually pull my camper while I don't have to touch the wheel on major highways.
That's crazy.
It's pretty. She hates that I do it, but I'm like, it's doing it for me.
want it.
If I don't trust it now, I'm never going to learn to trust it. That's why I told her, I got to go head first.
Yeah.
Give it the biggest test now.
You mean go all in on anything? Oh, yeah.
It's something I do. And so we go hunting, we have our fun, we each get one more when we stay that extra hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I think we took I think we might have seen 3 or 4 birds.
It's not that we didn't try. We just...
Yeah. Yeah. So the time we go back to there for lunch, we're having our conversations, we have our lunch. They invite us out for the evening. We say, no, we got to head home. On the way out, we had 21 birds between the 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, how many did you get? And we told them, I said, oh, we're going back out. So just take some more. We got a bag of 9 in there, which gave us an even 30, which is perfect for a handful of reasons. It would have been our limit of 15 for both of us. If we got in trouble, we weren't taking 45 or more.
Yeah, we were under our total.
We could have taken 45 because there was 3 of us hunting that day.
Yeah, well, we could 125 technically.
What?
We could have had in your possession.
Oh, okay.
You can have 45 each in your possession.
Oh, okay.
No more than 3 days, but that's hard to say on day 1.
Yeah, true. Yeah, yep. So we got our doves and we said, let's go back. And we had already told the wives we're having doves for dinner. Thankfully, we hit enough and we got those extra 9.
Yeah, we were getting kind of worried there. We were gonna have an appetizer, 1 each.
I said, what meats do we have in the freezer to pull out? But we got home and all of the kids were excited to try it. And they might not realize that they had it a few years ago because we had some camping that you just put in some, was it butter? Just threw them in butter?
Yeah, just butter and fried them up.
Yep, and they were very good. I remember that. So they were excited to try it. We decided to do poppers because if you Google dove recipes, you'll get the first 400 links are poppers.
Yeah.
So we got jalapeno poppers with cream cheese, put the dove breast on top, I don't know what that noise was, wrapped them in bacon, and then threw them in the smoker. And then for the other ones, since we had a bunch of kids eating with us, we just wrapped them in bacon, wrapped the dove breast in bacon, threw those in the smoker.
Yeah, put them on a skewer and just set them on the Traeger.
And I don't think that we followed any specific recipes because it's just wrapping things in bacon.
Yeah, when the bacon's done, pretty much everything else is done.
And you smoked them at what, 350?
Yeah, and it was 35 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't
maybe.
that long.
It wasn't long. I think you only have to get the dove. I thought I was reading it's like 135, so medium rare for a steak.
Yeah, 135 to 145. People say it's best at those temperatures. So the kids watched us clean it. My dad's like, "Oh, I could see the dove's body." He's almost 7 now, but he just had a crazy reaction to it. He's like, "Can I touch it?" I was like, "Yeah, you can touch. It's like touching chicken breast.
Yeah,
it's a dove breast. It's just like chicken breast." So he was freaking out about it though, thinking it was crazy. He wants to go next year, and we'll see how that goes because he's never. I don't trust him right now at all.
Well, you could take him and just bring on him, get him to sit on a stool, and then retrieve for you.
That's true too.
That's how Colton's first experience was.
My dad asked me, "Did the dog go with you?" And unfortunately, the answer is no. The way you dove hunt or duck hunt is you see a bird flying, you shoot it, and then you go get it. The dog is the go get it part when you're bringing a dog. My dog still does not like to hear bang bang. So
yeah, that would not have been a good day for her. It would have been, and then would have been terrible for you.
Yes. If she is out in a field and hypothetically, not yet, but if she's out in a field and she's flushing birds, there's a chance that I could be 10, 20 yards away from her when I take my shot and it's not right by her. But with dove hunting or duck hunting for that matter, the dog's going to be right by me when I'm shooting my gun. And if she doesn't like it when it's away, she's not going to like it when she's close by.
She's not going to be happy.
So no, I didn't take the dog for lots of good reasons. The other thing that we did was we went and took the food that we have. I took pictures of it, sent it to my mom. She's like, "Ooh, I would try the bacon wrapped ones." So I was like, "Oh crap! Now I gotta go get more doves because we ate them all." So we did have a little bit left over. I think we had like 6 or 7 poppers a piece and 5 or 6 pieces a piece of the other one. So 60 dove breasts, if you want to call it that way. So 30 doves and there's 60 breasts that they had. Fed 9 people till they were satisfied.
Oh yeah, satisfied,
and had some left over.
So yeah, it was probably more than I thought it was going to be.
Agreed.
I mean, quantity wise, I knew, but I didn't know if our kids would even eat it at all. I was happy to see them like go back. I think my son had like 8 or 10. It was just one after another. He loved them. So,
and our wives said, "Next time, this was all delicious. Next time, can we try something else so it's not just bacon flavor?" So we will try that next time.
We need to go out and get a bunch more.
Well, my plan is to go out and get a bunch more. I am going to be going out with my brother-in-law tomorrow
Oh, nice.
to try to get some more to a different spot on public land I've never been to. So he's going to take me out there, and hopefully I'll have some more to try some more recipes.
I got invited to go this afternoon, and we got plans this evening, so I couldn't. But down to Perryville to my other buddy's farm.
Oh, that same farm we went deer
Yeah,
hunting
we
on?
went deer hunting on. He's like, why don't you just, he texted me, it was like 11 o'clock last night. Why don't you come hunting with me tomorrow? I'm like, well, I would if I didn't have plans.
Are the doves flying well out there? Or?
I don't, it's still just an opportunity to be
Sure.
outside. So,
And it's a fun farm to be at.
yeah, he hasn't probably been down and seen his parents in a while. So it gives him dual purpose to go down there.
That's cool. So I think that overall, my first dove hunting experience was a success.
I would say so. Like I said, I was anxious that there weren't going to be many birds. You guys were going to be frustrated, and you had a great time. So I think it was a super big success.
I agree. And seeing the joy on your son's face, hearing the excitement in his voice before we got there, hearing his 4,000 questions on the way there, his 200 questions once we got there, until Jordan said, "Hey, bud, you got to calm down."
Yeah. But did you see what he did on the way home before we hit the highway?
Before we hit the highway, he was
He
snoozing.
was out.
Snoozing.
Worn out. So,
But the excitement of the day got to him. The being up for 7 hours when it was already noon. Got to him.
he got up at 4. So by the time we were driving home, which was what, 2:30?
Mhm.
I mean, that's almost a full day for him. He was done.
But he lasted a great time. He ate so much of the food that we had after, and when we got home, he had stories to tell, and I was proud of him. I could tell you're proud of him.
Yeah.
You took pictures, which you say you don't normally do.
I never take pictures, and I got some pictures of him, and so
I took pictures.
my wife was super happy that they actually got pictures of us, because it just doesn't happen. Because I'm not usually there. Oh, I need to send this. I'm just there enjoying the moment. Yeah,
I get it. And I forgot to turn my shot cam on until about halfway through. You had yours on the whole time, said that you realized that you were leading too much.
yeah, which that's normally not a thing.
Mhm.
But I was they were high and they were fast, so I was trying to stay ahead of them, and I was just too far. The ones that I made good shots on, I was obviously not perfect, but I was
Right.
right where I needed to be and hit them very well. But the other ones, I'm like, wow, I was way ahead.
And I had my GoPro on the entire day, and I had my shot cam on half the day. And one of the coolest things I did, and I'm going to put some video out there later, but one of the coolest things I saw was I was following one, I missed it, and then you could see in the shot cam that I got back on target and let it just a little bit more because that was my problem, and I hit it. Now that all went down in under a second and a half.
Yeah, I think you sent me that video because it was pretty cool, because it was like shoot and then back on instantly.
Yeah,
right?
it was shoot and then, oh, I messed up. And then shoot. But my brain was just doing it. So I was like, I think I am learning this stuff. This is cool.
Instincts taking over and not so much thinking about what you're doing.
And I tagged ShotCam in a picture on Instagram, and they liked my little thing that I did. So yeah,
That's
ShotCam.
cool.
I do like ShotCam.
Funny story with the shot cam. We were sitting around at another friend's house last night talking about it. Colton was talking about his experience, and I was like, yeah, I got a lot of mine on my shot cam. And my wife looks at me and she goes, you bought one of those? I'm like, oh, yeah. She goes, I thought Justin just had one. I'm like, well,
He does.
I'm like, yeah, but we'll talk about this later.
That Colton didn't spill it on that one.
No, it was me.
Yeah, and that happens. That happens. So that's it for the episode for our first dove hunt.
Yeah, awesome.
Successful, a blast, and let's see what we can talk about next week.
All right, well, thanks. I'm glad we were there for it.
Appreciate it.
See ya.